As the Galactic Council convened, the tension in the air was palpable. Ambassador Zach Thompson, the sole human representative, strode into the grand hall, his eyes scanning the room filled with an array of alien dignitaries. Little did they know, he had an ace up his sleeve, a deep understanding of game theory that would soon prove invaluable. Zach took his seat, his gaze settling on the Zoraxian delegate, Krylos. The alien's reptilian features twisted into a smirk, a clear indication of his confidence in the upcoming negotiations. The human ambassador knew he had to be on his toes. The Zoraxians were notorious for their cunning and manipulative tactics. As the session began, the moderator introduced the main topic of discussion: the allocation of resources in the newly discovered epsilon sector. The stakes were high, with each species vying for a piece of the pie. Zach listened intently as the other delegates presented their cases, analyzing their strategies and motives. Krylos was the last to speak, his voice smooth and persuasive. Esteemed members of the council, he began, his eyes glinting with calculation. The Zoraxian Empire has the most advanced technology and the strongest military presence in the epsilon sector. It is only logical that we should have the largest share of the resources. Murmurs of discontent rippled through the room, but Krylos continued undeterred. In fact, we propose a 60-40 split in our favor. It is a generous offer, considering our superior position. Zach's mind raced, applying the principles of game theory to the situation. He knew that accepting Krylos's proposal would set a dangerous precedent and weaken humanity's position in future negotiations. It was time to make a bold move. Rising from his seat, Zach addressed the council. Honorable delegates, while I appreciate the Zoraxian Empire's perspective, I must respectfully disagree with their proposal. Krylos's eyes narrowed, his smirk faltering slightly. The epsilon sector is a vast and untapped resource, one that should be shared equitably among all species. Zach continued, his voice steady and confident. I propose a different approach, one based on the principles of fairness and cooperation. The human ambassador outlined his plan, suggesting a system of equal distribution and collaborative exploration. He emphasized the benefits of working together, pooling resources and knowledge to maximize the potential of the epsilon sector. As Zach spoke, he watched Krylos's reaction closely. The Zoraxian delegate's face remained impassive, but Zach could see the gears turning behind his eyes. Krylos was re-evaluating his strategy, trying to anticipate Zach's move. The council erupted into a heated debate, with various factions arguing for and against Zach's proposal. Amidst the chaos, Krylos rose to speak once more. Ambassador Thompson, your idealism is admirable, but naive, he said, his tone condescending. The Zoraxian Empire will not settle for an equal share when we have the upper hand. Zach smiled, a glint of triumph in his eyes. But that's where game theory comes into play, Delegate Krylos. You see, by demanding a larger share, you risk alienating the other species and creating a coalition against you. Krylos's eyes widened slightly, caught off guard by Zach's words. In game theory, this is known as the Nash equilibrium, Zach continued, his voice growing more confident. The optimal strategy for all parties is to cooperate and find a mutually beneficial solution. By insisting on an unfair advantage, you risk losing everything. The council fell silent, the weight of Zach's words sinking in. Krylos's gaze darted around the room, gauging the reactions of the other delegates. Realization dawned on him: he had underestimated the human ambassador's cunning. With a grudging nod, Krylos conceded. Very well, Ambassador Thompson. We will accept your proposal for equal distribution. Zach smiled, relief washing over him. The first battle had been won, but he knew there would be many more to come. As the council moved on to other matters, Zach's mind was already racing ahead, anticipating the next challenge and the next opportunity to apply his knowledge of game theory. In the days that followed, Zach's reputation grew among the galactic community. His unique perspective and strategic thinking had proven invaluable in navigating the complex web of interspecies relations. Other delegates sought his advice and counsel, recognizing the power of his intellect. Krylos, however, remained a thorn in Zach's side. The Zoraxian delegate was not one to forget a defeat, and he was determined to outmaneuver the human ambassador at every turn. Their rivalry became the stuff of legend, with each trying to anticipate the other's moves and counter them. As the council convened for another crucial session, Zach found himself face-to-face with Krylos once more. The Zoraxian delegate had a sly grin on his face, a clear indication that he had something up his sleeve. "Ambassador Thompson, I must commend you on your clever tactics in our previous encounter," Krylos said, his voice dripping with false sincerity. "But I'm afraid your luck has run out." Zach raised an eyebrow, intrigued by Krylos's confidence. "Is that so, Delegate Krylos? Please enlighten us." Krylos proceeded to lay out his latest scheme, a complex web of alliances and trade agreements that would give the Zoraxian Empire a significant advantage in the galactic market. He had spent months cultivating relationships with key delegates, promising favors and concessions in exchange for their support. As Krylos finished his presentation, the council erupted into a flurry of whispers and murmurs. Zach remained silent, his mind racing as he analyzed the situation. Krylos had played his hand well, but there was still a way to turn the tables. Rising to his feet, Zach addressed the council once more. "Esteemed delegates, while Delegate Krylos's proposal may seem appealing on the surface, it is ultimately a short-sighted solution." Krylos's grin faltered, a flicker of uncertainty crossing his features. "In game theory, this is known as the prisoner's dilemma," Zach continued, his voice calm and measured. "By prioritizing individual gain over the collective good, we risk undermining the very foundations of our galactic community." The council fell silent, hanging on Zach's every word. "I propose an alternative, one that focuses on long-term stability and mutual benefit," Zach said, outlining his own plan. It was a bold move, one that required trust and cooperation from all parties involved. As Zach finished his speech, the council erupted into applause. Krylos sat back in his seat, his face a mask of frustration and defeat. Once again, the human ambassador had outmaneuvered him. In the weeks that followed, Zach's plan was implemented, and the galactic community thrived under a new era of collaboration and prosperity. The epsilon sector became a shining example of what could be achieved when species worked together, guided by the principles of game theory and strategic thinking. Zach's legacy lived on, inspiring future generations of diplomats and leaders. His understanding of game theory had not only helped him navigate the treacherous waters of galactic politics, but had also paved the way for a brighter future for all. As for Krylos, he eventually came to respect Zach's intellect and wisdom. Though their rivalry never truly ended, it evolved into a grudging admiration, a testament to the power of the human mind and the enduring spirit of diplomacy. And so, the story of Zach Thompson, the human diplomat who changed the course of galactic history, became a legend, a shining example of what could be achieved when brilliance and strategy combined to create a better universe for all.